This is the worst radio show in the history of the world.
Nope, I'm too weak.
Okay.
I can't do it.
Okay.
You don't have to include that in the video.
Oh, I will. That's going to be the starting one. The starting part.
Good morning. We are here. What is it, a Thursday?
Yep.
Thursday. And it's the first day of Peter's internship.
Oh, is that?
I've got an
I thought we were
intern
discussing terms,
to
right?
give
Yeah.
me a coffee. Oh no, man, you're up. You're in.
I'm in. All right.
You're in. As long as you,
Fantastic.
until we burn you out and cut you loose, you know.
Yeah, that's usually what they do to us.
But right now you are in, and we are getting to work right away. So, yay! I've got an intern. Give me coffee. Do things. I don't know. I have coffee. You don't have to give me coffee. Yeah, I hate the light coming from the side. Of course, the other side. I think they don't have any tables in there.
Surprised they don't give you your own office in the main church building. Am I following you? Is that what's happening?
Transformer. You get it? Like the little robot toy? It's a visual, right?
I guess I gotta bring my mind down to a more like.
No,
I'm not in the condescending way. I mean,
Now
just-
down, up, actually. Down is thinking only of the what's there, okay? That's the base level, okay? Talking about the theological exegesis is down, okay? Because you're only thinking about what's there. What's up is thinking about the story that will actually change someone's life. That stuff is basic.
Right, but what you're saying
Understanding how to express to someone a truth in a way that will actually change that day of their life, that's up. That's a higher level of thinking, right? I'll give you an example. C.S. Lewis, Chronicles of Narnia.
Right.
That's not him thinking down, that's him thinking up. The parallels and illustrations and stories he did it in a way that children could listen and get something out of it. But the theological depth of that writing is honestly more theologically sound than a lot of his theology books. Okay, who's the greatest theologian of all time? What would most children? Jesus! Right? And what did he talk in?
Parables.
Yep.
And then most people didn't understand them, though.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Now, people listened and they thought, well, that's a good story, but they didn't really get it, right? And the same thing happens if we do our job right. That's what the Transformers robot thing, it'll have depth. Most people will just think, it was a silly robot, and they'll never get the meaning of transforming. My first meeting with my intern, so hopefully that'll help. Hopefully Peter will be able to make my life a little bit less chaotic. So he seems eager and ready to go, but we'll see if he can help me get the Gospel Minutes going again. I loved the Gospel Minutes, and I know I gotta get to them, but I've just been running from thing to thing and having the time to come up with some ideas and get it organized and post them and share them, and then doing subtitles for them and everything. Uncle Jeff has helped me with that too, so hopefully we'll be able to provide more for you guys, those of you who like what we do. Anyway, now I'm going to the radio where I'm going to be on with Beth Stewart, who is a friend of mine, wonderful woman, just an honor to be invited on her radio show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get ready to rumble. This is Beth Stewart.
How are you today?
The one, the only.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Beth Walsh Stewart in the studio today with a new face. If you're looking on Facebook, you're going to be looking at Richard Demsick. How are you doing, Richard?
Oh, I thought maybe you were going to be the one with the new face.
No, I have the same old face.
Your face always looks beautiful with a smile.
Oh, you're very sweet. You're very sweet.
But you could have gotten a facelift or something like that. I couldn't imagine you being that kind of a person.
No, I'm not that kind of person.
No.
I hardly ever put on makeup, hardly any makeup.
Yeah.
I'm a little slow for that.
The best decoration for a face is a smile in my mind.
I really want to reach out to something that I think is an epidemic in our area. And people think about different things that are epidemic. Loneliness is killing more people than anything else in our country.
Have you ever read the book Tribes?
No, I haven't.
It's a book specifically about PTSD and people that come back from war, and it had this different perspective. obviously there's horrors that people see at war, and that scars you, and that's been the generic story that we've heard about PTSD. But he said that there's another side to it, and the side to it is that when they're overseas, they have a purpose and a community, and then when they come back,
there's nothing. I can be alone for long periods of time and not feel lonely at all. That's called solitude.
Yeah.
And then I can put myself off by myself on purpose, away from people, and feel lonely and feel bad. That's called isolation.
When I'm alone on retreat, I'm not isolated because I'm still connecting to something.
Yeah.
I'm connecting to my creator. By the way, you have a workshop coming up, I believe, right?
I do have a workshop coming up Saturday.
Oh, great.
It's this week Saturday, and it's an interesting one. It's called I Don't Want to Forgive Them. Because, we've done a lot of workshops on forgiveness, and it's wonderful if you want to forgive, but when you don't want to, it's a little bit different. But we'll talk about that.
I'm glad you told me about it. Is this still something that people can sign up for, though?
Yeah, they can just show up that day.
Oh, great.
It's great to live to be in a ripe old age, but when you're without anybody to share it with, it's difficult. And it's that victims are like virgins. You got one shot at it. After that, you're a volunteer. And it's a hard thing to feel like a victim, but if you don't take action against that, then you're a volunteer. If you're victimized over and over again, you're a volunteer. Of course, this is different if you're a child or if you're in a relationship where somebody has taken authority and they're hurting you. But that's basically what we're talking about.
Yeah,
okay.
The balance that I try to explain to people when they share with me the horrors that they've had inflicted upon them is that you did nothing to deserve this.
Right.
It wasn't your fault, but it is now your responsibility.
Right. We're built to serve each other.
Yeah.
And we forget that sometimes.
And I think that's one of the most powerful things is when you share your secret, the big secret is everybody's got one.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually Malcolm Gladwell that made it popular, and it was the idea that you want to be a genius at anything, all you need is to do 10,000 hours of work. It's not like some people can do it and some people can't. That's the basic theory. Well, one of the things that I try to point out is that it's not just playing the piano. It's also patterns of thought. So if you give 10,000 hours to getting angry, 10,000 hours to complaining, criticizing, being depressed, having this depressing thoughts. And you can't always control being depressed, but sometimes you can control what thoughts you give power to.
Right.
But if you give 10,000 hours to positivity, connection, then you become an expert on those things.
Well, Janis Joplin was quoted as saying, "I just made love to 25,000 people, and now I'm going home alone."
Wow. Yeah.
And she used drugs, and she used drugs to her demise.
Sure.
And who knows if it was on purpose or if it was just an accident. Nobody will ever really know because she was alone when she did it. Like hunger, loneliness is an indicator that your instinctive needs are not being met. That's all it is. It's you're not getting what you need, and you know that.
Interesting. I think one of the strengths of that is that you're seeing it not as the problem but the symptom. So then it's a matter of adjusting your situation or your patterns of thinking or your actual behavior.
Right.
And that's when you start eventually having the loneliness feeling leave.
Right.
And there's always a delay. And I always try to tell people, just, live into what you want your life to be. Your emotions will follow.
Yes.
But there is always a delay.
There's always a delay. Into me, see. That's how I say it.
I love that.
Yeah, intimacy. Into me, see.
Oh, wow.
And it's
Never heard that before.
Yeah, and it's like, that's what I want you. If I want to have an intimate relationship, I have to let you know who I am.
Yeah.
We have a workshop this Saturday morning, August 12th. It's from 10:30 to 12:30. Registration starts at 10. You can come anytime after 10 and we'll be there. The name of the workshop, I Don't Want to Forgive Them. They hurt us and they're not safe. Why should I forgive them? Why don't you come together with us and we'll see if we can find some of the answers. We meet in a room at First Presbyterian Church. It's right on the point of Royal Palm Point, 520 Royal Palm Boulevard in Vero Beach. Registration again starts at 10 a.m. It's a $20 cost for materials and refreshments, but listen up. If that would keep you from coming, I have scholarships in place. And hey, Rhett, thanks for showing up.
Sure.
He just wandered in at the very
I
last.
was feeling lonely. I get so lonesome.
We're going to be here next week. Tune
So
in.
lonesome.
Tune
and
in.
blue.
Thanks for tuning in today.
Right?
I did really good the first time. Well, not really good, but I did decent.
Yeah.
So if I do really bad this time, it's because you're filming me.
Safety off.
This is risky for our fence. Yeah, we can do that with deer. Good shot.
Thanks.
How's it going, man?
So, I'm trying to remember exactly what Nathan said, but it was very much like this pathetic, like, well, have fun with the crossbow. It sounds like a great time.
So he was just trying real hard to get you to.
Yeah, and I'm like, Nathan, do you want to come use the crossbow? And he's, well, it had crossed my mind.
That was Jeff. That was not I.
Yeah, I never actually got to see it. I heard about it, but this is Uncle Jeff's contribution to our yard. You know, Armageddon, zombie apocalypse type moment with having a priest, you know,
Shoot a crossbow.
shooting a crossbow.
Yeah.
Went through the fence.
Okay.
That's what happens when you miss.
Did you miss too?
Yep. Let's shoot really low, Kate.
Bullseye.
Maybe I am as weird as they say I am.
You
Just thinking about
32
the
years.
fact that we're back here shooting a crossbow now.
32 years. It was years ago that we were throwing knives and shooting arrows at our other house. This is
Yeah.
not new behavior for us.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not remotely.
Watch your fingers.
Bottom
next time.
circle. The way she
It-
runs over
yeah, I
there
know,
makes it
I was
look
about
like
to say
somebody
that.
should not be shooting
I was about to say,
crossbow.
it's like, it's hard because at the moment she's shooting, she looks so BA, and then the next moment.
She's like, hey
Yeah.
guys, I'm gonna go shoot my arrow.
I hit it, guys. I hit it.
Wow. Thanks, guys.
That's a pretty legit representation.
Yeah, thank you. I
That's
thought
a
it was pretty
legit
accurate.
representation
Oh
of
yeah.
me.
If anything,
We both looked at each other at the same time. We were like, what is this?
Yeah, it was like,
Alternate universe.
I did a toned down version of what you did. Nice speed. Dunk.
Nice.
I'm beating sweat right now.
Yeah, it's really hot. And I'm wearing this. Nice.
not bad.
Such an interesting exchange. A parasol for a crossbow.
Welcome to the jungle.
Where we have fun and games.
You have a bow?
Yeah, I had a couple.
Where is it?
In the garage, right? Our bow.
Yeah, do you
You're
want me to
also
get him?
throwing knives.
Of course you do.
All right.
Yeah.
You know.
Something happened to mine. Whoa.
Too far in the ground.
Yeah, it's all right.
Notching thing, or did you always set it down that blue part?
Nice. Did I hear a hit?
It definitely looks like
Nice.
that's where that is. Okay.
They were still low, but they both hit the target.
It's like retired nurse that came with us who's the age where you no longer care about things.
Oh,
You don't-
for sure.
You don't care about boundaries or embarrassment.
You've had enough kids to where it's just like,
Like
you've seen enough
38?
smegmas.
Is that when
yeah,
that happens?
Yeah, exactly.
Age 38?
No, she was definitely like in her 60s, I think.
38.
You mean
And,
50, right?
I was making a joke about myself being old, Kirby.
He was making a joke about you being 50.
I know.
So Dwight's response is, well, I'm going to go to Interlaken and I'm going to die there. Like the way he said it made it sound like,
He said he was like, no, that's where I plan on ending my life.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go to Interlaken, and that's where I plan on ending my life.
He said
That's what he
ending.
said.
Yeah.
It's like he meant live
man.
there for the rest of
In
his
his
life.
retirement.
Yeah, but what he said is, I plan on going to Interlaken, and that's where I plan to end my life. Okay, Doy.
Submarine, so grim.
Yeah, seriously. We might have some things to talk about, Doy.
Yeah.
You're like a reality like TV show where you sign your rights away and you just do whatever you want with the character.
It's called being friends with me.